Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and another essential tool, kind of in addition to these foot-long quarter hex to quarter hex extensions, has to do with running basically socket drivers on the quarter hex platform. Now one of the reasons for that is because there are a lot of different driver front ends, and the drivers, whether impact drivers or drills, require some different thing, and a lot of them now are turning quarter hex. Now this is one of my favorites. This is this Milwaukee M18 impact driver. It's 1/4 inch, great lighting. They don't give them away though, but I find that in my hand quite often, which means whatever I'm using, I have to be able to plug into that quarter hex front end. Also, I might be starting with a 1/4 inch, or a 3/8 inch impact and do some conversions, but more than likely I've got my beloved Surge in my hand. I love these things. The M18 is my favorite size for this, although the M12 is good, except it's about the same size. I make no secret how much I appreciate the Surge, and if I could only have one tool, one Milwaukee battery driver, it would be the Surge. I don't think I would have any trouble choosing it. The only reason I might go with, say, like a hammer drill is simply because I can fit things in there that don't necessarily have any hex on them, but I can get an adapter and run that if I want on my Surge. Anyway, going back to these guys, well, I'm going to jump to the end here and tell you that one of the winners is probably the Hercules version. This thing here, you can get a set of 3 of these guys for about 11-12 bucks. Full maximum Harbor Freight price, 6-inch long, impact ready. Now why the impact ready is important is because not all of them are, well, impact ready. Like, look at this snap-on. I have several of these snap-ons right there, snap-on, and it says warning, not impact. That one's not impact. In fact, none of my snap-ons that I've got out here are, and I've got several of different sizes. And what's even more odd is a lot of them, 3 of them anyway, have this bar, which basically locks this into a socket. So if I drop it on, say, even this impact, this Vera 1/4 inch driver here to reverse the situation, it's not impact, whereas this is. So that's kind of an interesting thing that Snap-on's not yet. I believe the Hercules are for sure. The Titans, which I've got a set of these little short Titans that are inexpensive, I believe these are. Milwaukee's definitely are. This one is I don't remember, this is a Diablo, and I believe this is impact rated as well. In fact, I got a ton of the Milwaukee's because they're a great deal. You could get a 3-pack, one of each size of the 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4 for a little over 10 bucks, I think, is what I've been paying for something like this. And then, once you've got those, I'll tell you why I've got so many, then I can run them on the impacts without any concern. But one of the things I can do is leave them in sockets dedicated. So if I know that I'm going to be running a socket mostly in, say, a 1/4 hex quick lock driver, rather than searching around or keeping these things handy, I can just get them and leave them dedicated with the socket. So I might have one here, say this 3/8, and I grab my Milwaukee Shockwave version and drop it in here. Now this is a snap-on. If you look at this guy here, this is the FX M112. It is a 3/8 socket extension with a magnet in it. So if you insert a 3/8 onto this thing, see if I got one handy, and I probably don't. Well, there's one, but doesn't work for what I need here. Anyway, when I drop one on there, it actually passes through and then holds the fastener or the nut or whatever. They don't give those away, but this thing here, if I'm running it most of the time, I'll say on this driver here, or any driver, I may just leave one of these adapters attached to it. So rather than looking for an adapter, I can just pop one off and then use this, say if I wanted to run it on something else. There are also different other extension accessories for sockets that would allow or would allow you to access those with your hex. Now, this one is the way I used to do things, using kind of one of these universal joints or swivel joints, or of course running, say, a swivel socket, you know, on my extension like that. However, I'll go to I can do it with this one, nice and big here. I can go to this Hercules, and also the Titan does this as well. If you go to O'Reilly's, I think that's where I got the set of these guys. But if I insert this in, I do have that wobble capability, which is again a reason that Hercules wins. But then I can also lock it down, so it's kind of like the Snap-on Wobble Plus. Again, Hercules wins there. Very smooth, easy to clean, but good price too, and extra length versus the Titans. But anyway, so depending on what driver you're using, depending on what socket you're going to put on, like this one definitely deserves, this TRO definitely deserves its own dedicated driver, or extension right there. There's my other Titan. If I want, just leave that there and take it off when I don't need it, rather than look for it when I do need it. And then of course you can, if you've got certain sockets that, you know, on their own might be kind of expensive, this would be a way to sort of adapt it to something else. Let's say I wanted a driver for this guy here, you know, an E. I think that's an E. Yeah. What do we got? TM412. I think that's a E socket there. I'm going to do more with E sockets in another video. But anyway, and just leave that dedicated rather than, you know, searching for something like that. Anyway, if there's some that you use, you know, that you have a preference for, let me know. But I always have plenty of these on hand, and I've started doing some dedicated ones. And if you think about it, if there's a couple of 3/8 or 1/4 inch you need, you could just easily buy sets of these, especially if they're on sale from Harbor Freight, and then just instantly create your own dedicated new sockets, rather than buying, you know, if you think about like what the swivel set costs for something like this, kind of wild. But right there, I mean, I can see that being, you know, something. I wish Harbor Freight sold these in bulk. Wouldn't that be nice if you could buy like, you know, 10 of these, and they just make a whole set of 6-inch long impact swivel sockets with your regular socket kit. That would be great. And since this is an $11 kit for all three of these guys at Harbor Freight, well, let's say that's on sale, I don't know, $3.50 a piece. So for, say, $30, you should be able to buy 10 of these and turn your whole socket set into a dedicated set of these. Of course, that's more weight, more everything, when you could just use one and swap your sockets. But I'm finding that often I like to leave these, just goes in the tool bag. There it is, just like that, and then stays that way. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, what you use, and if there's another one that I'm missing here, that or a use case, let me know. And with that, Doc out.